Hello and welcome to Beginners Yoga Club. My name is Esther Nagel. I'm the founder of beginnersyogaclub.com, and this is my day 2 VEDA video vlog every day in August, day 2. So today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about how I came to be a yoga teacher, because it's been quite an interesting journey that I've led to get me here. I first got into yoga. I first tried yoga many years ago, and it was all down to this man who, if you don't recognize him, he's George Harrison of Beatles. I've been a big Beatles fan for as long as I can remember. Thank you. Years and years and years. Since I was a little girl, I've loved the Beatles. And in my sort of late teens, early 20s, I became really interested in George Harrison in particular, and his solo work as well as what he does in the Beatles. And I became really a little bit obsessed. And it was a kind of, you know, like, if George Harrison does it, I have to try it. So I had to try yoga, and I tried yoga when I was in my 20s, and I really liked it. But for various reasons, I was never able to kind of make it part of my life. But when I did try it, when I did do it, I really enjoyed it. And then, about 10 years ago now, more than 10 years ago, 12 years ago, I had an asthma attack. And I had several asthma attacks because I was an asthmatic. I was also a smoker. And I decided during the time I took off work because I'd had an asthma attack that a really good thing to do would be to learn how to breathe properly. So I started going to yoga classes, and I loved it. I absolutely loved the way that the yoga made my body feel. I loved that time that I gave myself because I was quite stressed. As I mentioned in yesterday's video, I had some alcohol issues, a lot of alcohol issues. So I was very stressed, very frantic, very kind of highly strung kind of person most of the time. And I just loved that 2 hours that I gave myself every week, where I was just relaxing, just trying to relax my body, trying to relax my mind. But I hated the breathing exercises. I really didn't like the breathing exercises. My nose was always blocked up because I have a dust allergy, and I really struggled to breathe. And so while I liked the physical effects, I didn't really get the relaxation and calming effects that yoga can offer.
Or like the horrible breathing.
I have company in the room. But then in 2013, I was having a really difficult year, and it was one of those kind of, you know, like, if it can possibly go wrong, it's going to go wrong kind of years. And I ended up having a bit of a breakdown. And while I was reevaluating my life and trying to work out what to do, I decided that this was the perfect opportunity to train to be a yoga teacher, that I needed a different way of earning a living, that I needed a way of life that was going to enable me to be calmer and happier. So I decided to train to be a yoga teacher because in my naivety, I thought being a self-employed yoga teacher was going to be easier than getting a full-time job. It's not, but I thought that was the case. And so I managed to find, it was as if the stars aligned and everything worked just as it was meant to work, because at that time, a local yoga teacher had just started putting on advertising a training course, a teacher training course. It was this studio here in Cardiff, which is like a 50-minute drive away from my house, and I was able to manage it. So I went along to this teacher training. I'd never met the teacher before. I had no idea what style of yoga she taught. I just knew I wanted to train to be a yoga teacher. And I went into this almost like walking into a womb. It felt very womb-like, this studio. It felt warm, and it was dark, but it was warm kind of darkness. It was really nice, felt very much like going home. And I started this training. And as I started to do this training, I started to learn how to breathe properly. And I started to learn how to relax. And I started to learn how to sleep. And I started to learn how to develop, how to deal with stress in ways that didn't involve marching to the shop for cigarettes and alcohol. And I started to notice that I was changing. I hadn't anticipated this at all. I thought I was learning a practical how to teach people how to get into postures. I didn't know it was going to change me. And gradually I started to realize that I didn't need alcohol anymore, and it was enabling me to just deal with stress and to actually not have so much stress because I was so much calmer. I wasn't creating such stress for myself. By the time I finished that teacher training, I was sober. I was 6 months sober, in fact, and I was happily sober, and I was calm, and I was relaxed, and I was a much more calm, present, happy, joyful person than I could remember being. And so I discovered that yoga is actually far more than we think it is. It's far more than just the postures. It is actually something that can change you at your very core. And so that comes very much to why I do the things I do, why I teach the way I do, because I believe quite firmly that as an entire civilization, 21st century humans are far too stressed. That stress is leading us to all kinds of health problems, mental health problems. We have a mental health crisis. We have an addiction crisis. We have a stress crisis. We have diabetes. We have heart problems. We have asthma. We have all of these problems, all of these health problems, most of which have stress at their core. And we are creating this stress for ourselves. Most of the stress that we're under is created by the lifestyles that we live, by the society that we've created, by the world that we live in. And they are avoidable. And while the world out there might be unavoidable, you can choose how you deal with it. You can change how you deal with the world. And yoga really helps you to change the way you deal with the world. It hasn't changed the fact that I find the world scary and frustrating, and I'm constantly wishing that things were different. I really want the world to be different. I wish the world was run differently. I really do. I get very angry and very scared and very frustrated when I spend too long reading the news. But then I can come back to my inner strength, my inner resilience. And I know that I'm going to be okay because I've got yoga. And as long as I've got yoga, I can get through things. So this is why I'm so passionate about teaching yoga, because I know that beyond helping you to be flexible in your body, it can actually help you deal with life. I am testament to that. My life is proof that it works. I don't have scientific backing to prove what I've experienced, but I've experienced it, so I know it's true. I didn't go into yoga anticipating recovery from addiction. I didn't even know that I had an addiction when I went into that yoga teacher training. The transformation happened without me expecting it. And it was a powerful, powerful transformation. So that's why I do what I do. And that's what I want to help people, whether you've got addiction issues, whether you've got just stress, if you've got health problems, they're going to be improved. If not, they're going to be improved if you find a way to reduce stress in your life. Everything gets better if we find a way to reduce stress, because stress just makes the problem worse. It doesn't solve any problems, not that kind of distressing stress that makes us feel ill and stops us sleeping. That doesn't help. And it doesn't help us to solve the problems. What helps us to solve the problems is to step back, take some deep breaths, and look for the solutions. And yoga helps you to do that. So that is why I do this. That is what I'm trying to help. That is what I'm trying to put out into the world. That is what I'm here for, to help you and all the other people who might be watching this video to learn to de-stress through yoga. So over the course of the next month, I'm going to hopefully share with you some things that are going to help you to see how you can apply this stress-reducing benefits of yoga to your life and hopefully transform your life for the better. So on that note, I am going to say namaste, and here's my dog Shanti coming to say hello. Shanti means peace. She is named after peace, our desire for peace. And I will see you tomorrow. So remember to subscribe so that you get notifications when I upload a new video, and maybe I will get this little boy on the screen so you can actually see him instead of just hearing his voice. And I will see you again soon. Namaste. Have a beautiful day. Bye.